Welcome back to Bravo Breaking News with Kim, Lisa, and a very special guest who is going to take us inside one of the most anticipated Bravo events of the year, Christmas at Kathy's. That's right. Today we have our friend, our colleague, and most importantly, our fellow Bravo connoisseur, Sofia, here with us. And she was one of the lucky ones who scored an invite to this iconic event, Christmas at Kathy's, hosted by Kathy Hilton for DirecTV. So we want to get your thoughts on everything, Sofia. But before we dive in, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss any Bravo breaking news. Sofia, so there is a lot to discuss, but let's start from the beginning. So you're pulling up, or let's start even further back. You get invited to Kathy Hilton's Christmas party. What are you feeling in that moment?
So funny enough, my friend told me about this. I think the day after Thanksgiving, I was with friends. I was hosting people. So I may have been a bit inebriated, and I didn't realize that had happened. Then the day of, on Tuesday at 5:30, she asked us, what are we all wearing? And I said, ma'am, excuse me, what do you mean? Are we actually going to Kathy Hilton's house today? And she said, yes. So I got myself together.
What? So you didn't... Whoa. Hold on. So you didn't actually think this was real? Like you weren't making a plan for the 4 days leading up to it?
My nails were not done. I had just eaten a serving bowl of pasta. I was in no place to physically put on a housewives related moment on my body. But when the call came, I immediately sprinted into action. I got it together. I did a manicure on my way out. Everything was fine. So I did splurge and get a black Uber. That's not usually my bag, but there was no way that I was showing up to Kathy Hilton's home in Bel Air in a busted down Toyota. We weren't going to do that.
No, I think that was absolutely the right move. Right move, 100%. So you pull up. I mean, what is it like?
It's immediately I see bright lights. There's a step and repeat at the entrance. Not much security, if I do say so. And immediately I see this sparkling angel who we know by the name of Gertie. She had just entered the step and repeat, and she was in this stunning outfit. And I was just it was the right person to see as I arrived. Just a joyful human, a ray of sunshine personified. And then I noticed that there is a bunch of people waiting to get in. The doors are not yet open. I check in. I don't know what to do with myself because I'm alone. My other friends are running a bit behind. So, as you always been told, act like you belong. And by God, did I. Before I go in, I have checked in. Before where anybody is allowed in, I see the doors open and out comes Kathy Hilton and Kyle Richards. And immediately I'm beside myself. I'm like, okay, let's begin this fever dream. I don't know what I'm about to walk into, but that also meant that the doors were open. They were going to walk the step and repeat, do their photos, their interviews. There was a couple different, news organizations there, if we can call them that. So they did their thing. They opened up the doors, and I couldn't, it almost felt like an out-of-body experience because I have watched Beverly Hills from the very beginning. I am not ashamed to say that I have watched every franchise on this network since the inception. OC grabbed me and I've never looked back.
No, you should never be ashamed of that. You were in a safe, this is your safe place. Exactly.
Thank you so much.
That is something to wear with pride.
I agree.
So the doors open, which means basically the party can start, right? Because Kathy's now ready.
Absolutely. The hostess has arrived.
Drinks outside while you guys were waiting, or was it just this holding pen?
It was a holding pen, and I'm going to be honest with you, Lisa, I should not have arrived exactly on time because my excitement got the best of me, and arriving at 7:30 on the dot is not becoming. And yet there I was. So there wasn't many of us. I feel like everybody who was there was just as excited as I was. But there weren't that many people waiting. I'd say about 15. Granted, you can imagine that Kathy Hilton's driveway is sizable. So it didn't feel like there was a crowd forming that was, unmanageable.
Right. Okay.
So you walk in and do you immediately enter and you're in that foyer with the Christmas tree next to the
And the black and
staircase?
white tiles?
I just want to place myself.
Exactly. It's like you've been there too. I mean, haven't we all? We have all metaphorically been in this home, and that is exactly. And of course, in perfect fashion, there was a lovely gentleman there with a tray of champs. Just
Wait, was Patrick there, her butler?
I looked for that man all night, and I did not see him anywhere. I know. My friend thought that she had seen him, and it was a false sighting. We were all very, very excited. Patrick was not to be found. Probably, this party was probably, I don't want to say beneath him, but he's more of an intimate man.
Yeah.
He can't be with all of these strangers in the home. He'd probably have a panic attack. Honestly,
That dinner with Erica was probably enough for him.
Absolutely. He deserves to pick and choose what he does in the Hilton home. And then I will say I picked up my champs, and I immediately went to one of the security guards, who was by a sitting room that I was about to walk in, and then I felt like I was invading Kathy's space, even though everybody was loitering about. But I asked him. I said, "Is there anywhere where I cannot go?" Because at this point, I'm like, it's early. I need to walk about. I need to act like, the person that I am. I need to explore every inch of this
You
home.
need to take it all in.
Yes. And then he said exactly what I had hoped he said. He said, "You just cannot go upstairs." And he pointed to the stairs right there around the Christmas tree. And behind him was the giant sitting room, the...
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then there's
TV trays.
Yes, exactly. And well, actually, that one was right next to him, but the larger one that I'm now forgetting the scene with Lisa Rinna, but the one that's more like powdery blue, just giant, perfect, stunning. I walked through there again, felt insane because nobody else was in there at this point. I think everybody was kind of apprehensive about where to go. You're in this gigantic mansion and it's not very clear. There's people everywhere, security guards, there's event people with all of their little, earpieces. So it was kind of, it was a push and pull of my inner voice of don't be silly, but also this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Just constantly towing that line.
Okay, what's your favorite little object or thing that you saw in the house during that time when you were kind of alone exploring that you were like surprised to see, or you were like, oh my God, there's X.
Okay. So I venture downstairs to what I then realized was the pool house. And that's really where you entered into the winter wonderland, where there was endless Christmas trees and real snow. It was iconic.
Wow.
I did in the pool house, off to the side, there's what is very clearly the entrance to a movie theater. It has the bit of an awning that screams vintage movie theater. Naturally, I walk in, nobody is in there, and there are in the top row, because when you walk in, you walk, there's stairs, just how you would in a movie theater. The screen is the farthest away from you. That top row had a cashmere blanket draped over it, monogrammed with the name Paris. And I just thought, you don't put away certain things when you have 200 people, if not more, entering your home. I just thought that was so, me, somebody who is, to Kathy, impoverished, would never leave out a monogram cashmere blanket in a theater that I know people are going to walk into. So
we saw Paris's blanket. Did we see Paris?
My friend did see Paris. She was there earlier. I did not see her later. I did see Nikki later, but as Paris is a new mother to 2 small children, she probably had other things to do.
So was the party indoor, outdoor? Was it inside Kathy's home mostly? Like what was going on?
So it did get a bit chilly. So I think that there was a little less outdoor activity than maybe they would have liked. Also, again, real snow that is going to affect certain things. So there was a lot of activity outside. There were heaters everywhere and it was lovely. There was a replica of the Kimosabe bar moment where there was a photo booth set up. Meredith Marks had sent over some of her caviar. So there was a lovely little station there where a fantastic woman was preparing caviar with some potatoes. And so there was that station there. There was another bar outside. So it was very welcoming to be out there. And there was also, which I personally loved, and I'll share a photo afterwards. Of course, the pool house has this bathroom that is made for events, right? A bathroom with 2 sinks, 2 stalls. I don't want to call them stalls because, again, that's just me coming from my, Kathy would say impoverished background. And the toilet paper was prepared in a bow. They put a bow on it with its toilet paper. I'll send a photo that you can use so that you can see it. It's just those little touches, that was just.
So you've set the scene perfectly for us, but I think we all want to know. Let's get to the Bravo celebrities. Yes. Who did you see? Who enters, Kathy Hilton's house? Who did you talk to? Who was the highlight? Who was somebody that maybe wasn't so nice? Let's break it down.
So I decided to sit in the corner of the pool house because I would get a view of everybody walking in while also making sure.
That's a corner, Sofia.
Well, if you're going to be in the lower level, you may as well take what you can get and just. I was in the best point of vantage wise to see.
Got it.
Okay. Coming down, and so it just. I do believe now that we know that a couple of them were at Crystal's house, it makes sense because a couple of people arrived a bit later. But immediately I was absolutely taken aback by Faye Resnick's beauty. I did.
Wow.
When she came down those stairs, I did a double take. And again, acting like you belong and acting like, you're not, I failed immediately. She is stunning. She's this tiny little human, but just stunning in person. So that was exciting. I did also do a wee bit of a double take when I saw James Kennedy. I'm not somebody who finds this man particularly attractive. Blonde men are not my bag. Just light, fair humans in that fashion. And he's so much taller than I thought. He is so charismatic. Just the airs about him.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So I get it.
James has it. Whatever it is, James has it, and he's a star.
There's a reason he's the number 1 guy in the group.
Hello. She said it. So that was super exciting. I also loved his fit. He was, and the cameras followed him. He was loving it. He was like he came alive. So that was thrilling.
Wait, wait, pause. So there were cameras filming?
There were not cameras filming for the show. There were just cameras everywhere. DirecTV had, people on with gimbals just walking around with their phones.
Got it.
Okay. A bunch of things. If you went to DirecTV's Instagram, you probably saw a bunch of reels and really fun little moments. I'm not being paid by DirecTV, by the way. So that was super exciting. My most favorite, and I know I've already mentioned her, was speaking with Gertie. Gertie has an effervescence that we pick up on when we watch the show, but to feel it in person, it was so incredibly palpable. She is joy. And so we were talking to her a little bit, and first of all, I immediately had to tell her how much I loved Russell, because what a stunning house husband he is.
Mhm.
And the fact that they've been together for 28 years, just, I mean, beyond. So I was telling her that, and then she told us the story about how she had to walk by him 3 times when they were in high school for him to notice her. And she was like, what am I? And finally, at the 3rd time, she's like, are you not going to say anything to me? Like, what is it that we're doing here? And then finally said, hi, Gertie. So sweet. She's always been who she is.
Oh, I
and
love
Russell's
it.
always been who he is. And it was so lovely. We talked a little bit about, when you first see yourself on camera, and she goes, oh, I immediately wanted to get my teeth whitened. You start to see all of that. She was lovely. And then I was telling her how brave it was for her to share her story, her cancer journey on camera. It's just very, very brave. And
she was one of the first Bravo Labs we saw at BravoCon, and I echo the same sentiment. She was lovely. She was joyful. She was excited to be there. She was happy to talk to everyone, and just gorgeous, stunning in person. So, Gertie, you're a real one.
She really is.
Props to Gertie. I agree.
Props to Gertie. And I will say, while we are on Miami, I am personally not a Larsa fan. Larsa could not have been kinder to everybody working the event. Just thinking,
wow.
I know somebody that was holding her stuff for a bit while she was on the red carpet. She had already thanked this person afterwards, right after she left the carpet. She found this person again to say, thank you, so sorry you had to hold that for so long, which I thought was incredible.
It says a lot
to people working any kind of event. It's the same as how you treat a server, waiter, whatnot.
That says a lot, and it makes me gain respect for Larsa that I certainly do not have at this point in the season.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that. So there were cocktails flowing, right? Did anybody maybe have a little bit too much to drink? Did anybody get loud? Did anybody get messy? Did you see anything out of the corner of your eye that maybe looked a little unhinged?
Sadly, I did not. I did not, because I think everybody had this understanding that you are at Mama Hilton's house. You are going to act as, you walk through those doors and immediately like, I must respect the space and the family. You are not about to do anything messy or wild. And I also feel like most of the housewives that were there, they are seasoned professionals. They are very well aware that they should not do certain things. And I think that there were a lot of people from the entertainment business there as well. So they probably wanted to keep their bearings and whatnot.
Sure, you want to get invited back to Mama Kathy's house. Absolutely. You don't want to be crossed off that invitation list when it comes time for next year's Christmas party.
Absolutely.
So can we just give a quick rundown of who was there? Because when I was looking through pictures, it seemed like BravoCon 2.0. There was literally dozens of housewives and, Bravo celebrities in attendance. So give us a quick rundown of who you saw.
Okay, so Crystal and Rob, I personally love them so much. I wish that we saw more of Crystal on the show. And I just think Rob is like the funniest, charming, cute husband who just allows his wife to have the spotlight and is just there as an ornament, which I appreciate when a house husband does that. They were stunning, so smiley and wonderful. She's so much taller than I thought, which is usually, again, the opposite, because everyone's usually shorter than you think. Great to see that. I was sad that Sutton wasn't there, if I'm being honest.
So let's talk about this, because barely anybody from Beverly Hills was there. I think Crystal and Kyle were the only ones. So Sutton, Garcelle, Dorit, Anne-Marie. I mean, there was a lot of the cast not there. And that is, I don't know, a little weird.
And I'm fairly certain that they were all invited. So it could very well be a holiday situation. But it was interesting, particularly Dorit. Why would she not be there?
Well, I know Sutton I know Sutton and Kyle aren't on good terms, but I mean, this whole thing coming out about how Sutton goes to Kathy's parties and they're friends and all this stuff, you would expect Sutton to show up.
100%. That's also what I was thinking. But there was quite a bit of Salt Lake City folks there. That was lovely. Again, Meredith Marks provided her lovely caviar. She was there with her husband, who I think was the happiest human to be there. He seems like a full ham. He was just having a ball, running around talking to a bunch of people. He was in heaven, truly.
Now, did you see Mary Cosby? Because I know she was there. I saw her outfit, and I gotta say, it's giving choir singer.
100%. It was giving choir singer. It is one of the saddest moments of my life when I heard that she was there and I could not find her. I'm not sure how long she stayed or if she even came downstairs. I do not know, but I did not see her. I thought she looked great. I appreciate it. Her face just looked rejuvenated in a way that I mean, so did Kathy Hilton. She looked incredible.
Extremely rejuvenated, but
extremely
in the best way.
Quite taut. And Mary also, in all of the images I saw, looked fantastic. And I would like to know who got her there, because I feel like producers on Salt Lake City can barely get her to come anywhere. I know that she's now set that,
they kicked her out of the house.
Exactly. So the fact that she traveled, crossed state lines even to attend, and then seemingly didn't know who Kathy Hilton was on the red carpet, that I found also spectacular.
Oh, that was great. What about Teresa and Louis? Did you get a view of them?
They were not there, and I don't understand why. My only reasoning could be DirecTV also was doing a party for the 40th most iconic reality women the next night. So my thinking is that maybe they didn't want to double up on who was going to be at both parties.
Well, but Teresa was at Crystal's house before. She was at the pre-party.
Exactly.
So she didn't go to Kathy's, which is very interesting. And I mean, a lot of people went to both events. Kyle went to both events.
Right.
I don't know.
I was that was very, very, as you know, I am a tray hugger. Please hold your commentary and ire. I know where that comes from for me is that this woman has given us so much of her life, and I can only just respect and adore her for it. So that's where I come from. So I was so sad, and I particularly wanted to see what Louis looks like in the flesh. Is he as red? Is he as aggressive in energy when you are in person with him? I wanted to know, and unfortunately, I did not find out.
Yes.
Yes, we saw them at BravoCon, and while Louis was very nice to the fans, taking pictures and everything, he is just as he is on TV. A red, kind of purple, with the veins popping out, kind of aggressive looking guy at all times, even though, he's actually pretty nice.
Right. I mean, again, the biggest takeaway was at the end of the night, one of my friends, again, after a couple of glasses of champs, goes, at the end of the day, they really are just people. And I was like, that is absolutely stunning.
But
and
are they?
Yes. But are they? Exactly. Mm-hmm. I
guess they're right, but
I know. Well, I also always see them as, I'm sure they're all very kind people. I've met a ton of them in the past, and I know that they are kind. Some aren't. Some are. That's how the human race goes. The way that I view them is that they are characters on our TV screen providing entertainment. They know that this is a job. We know that it is a job. And I think once we reframe ourselves into that, it just becomes a bit easier to digest. And obviously, they are here to criticize and love and and do what they do so we can do what we do.
It's definitely finding that line of being a fan versus being their friend, because you're kind of both, and you have to toe that line very carefully because you want to act like you belong and act like you fit in. But at the end of the day, you might have voiced some opinions that some of them may or may not like. So it's finding that balance that you only get with practice, and being around all of them at Kathy Hilton's is probably the best practice that you could ever have. Sophia, FOMO doesn't even begin to describe what I felt seeing that picture of you with Polly from Selling the OC. We haven't even talked about Selling Sunset or Selling the OC, people.
Oh my goodness.
But do you want to give us a quick debrief on maybe some of those people before we let you go?
Absolutely. And I will say, just before we leave Housewives, I did do some shots with Whitney from Salt Lake City, who is absolutely somebody that I now want to hang out with. She is so down to earth, so humble and grateful, and all of this, just everything that you would think of all of her good qualities that we see times 100. So very, very thankful to have had that moment with her. The OC people, again, just the tiniest humans I've ever seen. Just the wastes are just they're not real. It's wild. I don't know how the human form has manifested that into 3D shape, and it was wonderful. We saw Polly because, as you know, we have a mutual colleague there, and she was positively lovely also. Short little petite woman, just a firecracker. That she was fantastic. Someone that's not famous whatsoever, but is an icon in my mind now. When I went into the dining room, because they had a champagne vending machine in there, they had a champagne vending machine. They were handing out coins because she would never spend her own money at Kathy's house. There was a man in there essentially redoing the Dinner from Hell, and showing us where every housewife was sitting. And I walked in there as this man was doing that, and I just looked at him and was smiling. And then he looked up and noticed, and I was like, this is the peak of my life. I'm with my people.
Now, he was just doing a one-man act.
He was showing his friend. This is where Eric was at. This is where, it was stunning. It was art.
Or what?
Yeah. It was stunning. It was really just...
I still get chills.
It doesn't get more iconic than this. We are so thankful that you were there, Sofia. Lisa, do you have any final questions, any final thoughts before we let our gracious friend go?
My only other question is Sofia, where do you go from here? Because I feel like you have now peaked. You have
100%.
attended Christmas at Kathy's. How is the rest of life not just a massive disappointment?
It's kind of downhill from here. I'm sorry, Sofia.
100%. No, 100%. Nobody invited me to a Christmas party. All holiday festivities are officially canceled. I cannot go to anything else unless you have 27 Christmas trees.
The champagne vending machine.
I'm sorry. No. I now strictly only drink Moet, and I will not have anything else. If you don't have a movie theater with cashmere monogrammed blankets of your family ready for me to wrap myself in, I simply can't attend.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Sofia. This was so fun hearing you recap the night, and I can't wait to have you on again some other time to, talk some more housewives.
So let's just say right now, we are all going to manifest an invite to Christmas at Kathy's 2024.
Yes.
And everybody's going to be there now because everybody's pissed that they weren't if they had declined previously.
100%.
Sure. Thank you so much, Sofia. Thanks for your time. We'd love to have you on again. So make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss any more Bravo breaking news.
Bye, everyone.